Hey there YouTube, Travis here. That's the big question. Can a moped guy do a vintage Vespa scooter? So we are looking at a Vespa small frame scooter. I wanted to get my hands on an old two-stroke scooter like this for a long time. This one kind of fell into my hands. I wasn't explicitly looking out for a small frame. This is a 1981 Vespa 100 Sport. Again, I wanted an old two-stroke manual shift scooter. This one just popped up locally and I swooped in and got it. I would have been very happy with a large frame scooter, a Lambretta, even something more modern like a Stella, but this just happened to be the one that was closest to me. This is not a been sitting forever scooter. It was redone about 20 years ago in the early 2000s. I actually spoke to the mechanic who worked on it way back then. It's got a little bit of history with some local scooter culture for the area. I've gotten it to the point where it runs. I had a buddy of mine help me out who's more familiar with these. Coming from the moped world, there's an awful lot of differences. Somebody enjoyed this thing for a lot of miles. There's supposed to be a kill switch here, that's bypassed. Front brake, rear brake. My gosh, the headlight and the tail light actually do work, which is kind of wild. No horn, but we've got just about everything we need to get this thing working. There's supposed to be a fuel tap right here. I've been turning it off and on with some needle nose from inside the scooter. Choke right here. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? I mean, this thing just has some righteous patina, which I love. It's just a gnarly old beater Vespa small frame. So this bike will be getting a lot better treatment. It's not running super well right now, but it is running. Again, we're just gonna putz around on this for a little bit and have some fun, but it's certainly gonna get a full rebuild in time. You'll notice right now this green wire. When I got the bike, it had been sitting for, gosh, probably at least 4 or 5 years, possibly longer. It was missing a coil, a power wire to the ignition coil. The Vespa scooters have this junction box right here. Again, everyone's probably horrified, it's just dangling here. Working on getting that mounted up better. Some of these Vespas had biodegradable wiring back in the day. Thankfully, some of this has been replaced, so it's not that bad. To access the motor on this, you actually put a jack stand on the rear, higher than this. You undo a few bolts, the exhaust and the motor actually kind of swings down and you can get to it a bit easier. If we go ahead and check under the seat here, man, this thing is a crusty bike for sure. Hiding down under here is a Delorto. This is a 1919 actually. And I've got a bit of an air leak where the carb meets the intake. I've got a piece of felt, which is missing on this, that I'm going to put in there, and we'll see how it does, if that helps seal it up. It is supposed to be there. What else to talk about this bike? I'm missing the covers. Unfortunately, it seems like these are a little bit of unobtainium. There would have been a battery here, but not necessary for it to run. This is definitely a little crusty. There is a performance exhaust on this. It comes up here and has a spring. You know, I'm really going to show my ignorance of the scooter world. I don't know what type of exhaust it is. Could be a Leo Vince, could be Polini. I'm not sure. I've also heard rumors that this has a kit on it and it may not be the stock 100cc jug. Again, not totally sure. Coming from mopeds, this is something that is totally new to me. And yes, if you haven't noticed, what is a scooter without a key? Off and on. So that's great. Anyway, enough talk. Let's go ahead and take this thing out for a ride. a machine. So when it comes to maintenance for this thing, I've gone ahead and changed the clutch oil. So the fill plug is right there and the drain one is right underneath. These old scooters actually take 30 weight non-detergent. Napa should have it. This one I had to ask the guy and it was in the back, but it's kind of nice. And then this ignition. So obviously this is points and condenser ignition, which I'm familiar with. The stator on this bike is in kind of questionable shape. The coils are smashed, and I have a replacement for this. So while the bike does start up and run okay with those points, I'm a little suspect when it comes to the condition of that stator. So we're going to go to a nice CDI. And this is just the difference of like buying moped parts versus some, a little bit more organized and established parts vendors. This ignition actually comes with a full manual on how to install it. In addition to all the bits and bobs. So I'm not sure if it'll get this before the engine teardown or if I'm just going to continue to enjoy it as is. Probably going to continue to enjoy it. But I'm going to throw this little piece of felt in front of the carb, hopefully to help that air leak. When I spray carb cleaner there, it will kill the bike, so there's absolutely an air leak there. But for now, we're going to go ahead and plan on using these parts, but for now, just really enjoy the scooter. Okay there, YouTube. Well, I hope you enjoyed the little tour and ride, this old Vespa. Again, kind of an oddball model. I understand they only made this for a couple years, at least in the States, but it's my little oddball. Okay there, YouTube. Until next time.